and I quit today. I got this LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I didn't think I'd even get emotional. I am catastrophizing, I am pre-grieving, I'm just over. Hello, it is Monday, and I'm about to leave to go take a drug test. And that's because I got a new job, and I accepted the offer. I don't know if I've talked about it already, or if I will talk about it, but I won't talk about it now because I need to leave soon. But yes, I am taking a drug test, and this is my second one because the first one, it was actually, the result was negative diluted. And I guess diluted meaning that my pee was too diluted, that maybe some drugs got like hidden, but it was negative. So I have to retake it. And today I am taking it again. I've done a lot of research to make sure I don't get dilute again. But the reason why I think I got diluted last time was because last time I was just running on autopilot and I had to pee before I left. So then I went pee right before I left. And then I was like, oh no, what if I can't pee when I needed to pee? I didn't know how long the wait was gonna be or anything. So I just I was freaking out. So I drank like a bunch of water right before, maybe like 24 ounces. And then I had to wait like an hour and a half. I chugged a lot of water and then, yeah. This time I stopped drinking water an hour and a half before. I did no chugging, and all day I think I only drank 24 to maybe 30 ounces of water. So hopefully I'm not dilute again. Hopefully it all works out because I'm putting in my 2-week tomorrow, and I just want everything to go well and things to go well, because also doing my background check, I had to do my old employers, and they were asking me for a bunch of things because they couldn't verify my employment, and it was getting really stressful. Like, I don't know, I was worried that this process was gonna make me lose the offer. I am catastrophizing, I am pre-grieving, I'm just over worrying. I think like everything has been working out fine so far. So I'm just trying not to worry too much because I am worrying a lot. I literally know a little bit too much about drug tests now because I was worried that I'd get a false positive by eating poppy seeds. And then I was also like, how do I undilute my pee? Do I need to take creatine? Do I need to take vitamins? But I didn't do any of that. I think the only thing I did was just drink water regularly, made sure I eat so that there's like food and digestion and it's not on an empty stomach. And then I think right before I drank a little bit of electrolytes. So that's that. And hopefully it all goes well and that the things come in soon, results come in soon, because I'm putting in my 2-week tomorrow, as I mentioned, and that's gonna be another thing I'm worried about. I wanted to give it today because it's Monday and that kind of gives the whole full week, but my boss is in Canada and they have Canada off. So, but it is what it is. We'll see what can happen. And it's terrible timing because I think my boss is going out of office. So, yeah, I don't know. Ew. It's gonna be pretty bad. I might literally just leave and be like, sorry guys, deal with it. But I don't know. It is what it is. We'll worry about that when we hit that. I'm just very anxious about everything. But yeah, it's about time for me to go. But yeah, I think the next update you guys will see from me is tomorrow when I quit, basically. So we got the drug test done, and I did pee, and it was a lot more yellow than last time I peed. Last time I peed, for this drug test, I mean, was clear as hell, but this time it was actually yellow. A healthy yellow, I think, but finally, it's looking like it's not gonna be diluted, so happy for that. And yeah, and today I just got an email from my onboarding buddy. That's cute. It's a product analyst. I don't know what that means in this context, but I'm excited to get to hang out with her and have a buddy while I onboard. And yeah, I'm excited. Alright, it is now Tuesday. It is after work. I just got back from the mall from kind of doing some returns and doing some grocery shopping. And I quit today. And I told most people, most of my peers and my old line manager, I told them. So it's official now, and let me tell you what happened today. It was kind of stressful. So today I plan on telling my current line manager that I'm resigning today, because one, Tuesdays are usually when we do our one-on-ones, but also they were off yesterday. Canada was off, and he's in Canada, so I couldn't tell him yesterday, so I was gonna plan on telling him today. Since he's in Canada, they were already messaging in our kind of team chat, and he was saying, oh, because of the events that we have going on today, I can't do any of our one-on-ones, so I'm canceling all of them. So I messaged him, I'm like, hey, can I at least talk to you for like 10 to 15 minutes? And then I specifically said 10 minutes because I know the shorter amount of time will lead to him believing that there's something I need to tell him rather than me talking to him about a customer. Because usually I've done that before where he's canceled some meetings with me or like one-on-ones or other things like that where I'm like, hey, can I talk to you still for like 15-20 minutes because I still need like help with like customer stuff. But I said 10 specifically to kind of hint towards him that I'm like, hey, I've got to say something. Because I've also read in the messages that he was sending in the morning that he has time off, about a week, half of this week and then half of next week. So I kind of wanted him to know and kind of prepare for it, just because he'll be pretty busy with the fact that I'll be gone and stuff. So yeah, so I'm like, hey, can we talk for 10 minutes? And then once the time was coming up, I was getting so nervous. I was literally so nervous. I don't know why, but I was. But I told him I was so awkward. I was like, yay, yeah. Well, first we did some catching up because I was on a vacation last week and he also was on an on-site, so we're just catching up. Like, hey, yeah, how's your vacation? I'm like, yeah, good. And he's like, yeah, so what do you want to talk about? And I was starting to be so awkward. I was like,
yeah, so I'm really grateful for all your support.
and then he, like, you could see he's starting to smile and he's like, oh, you could tell that his face is like, oh no. And he was like, yeah, I had a feeling when you said 10 minutes to chat. And I was like, yeah. And I kind of told you what I just told you guys, that I kind of wanted him to not be blindsided because I know lots going on. Lots of changes have been happening. Someone else just quit a couple weeks ago or like a month ago. And I'm quitted. And my drug test came back and it's completed negative. So no drugs and no dilution. It was just normal. So we're good to go. Now I'm just needing to hear back from HR from the new company, and next week I should have more information on next steps. But yeah, that's official now. I'll chat with you guys at another point in time whenever some next big things happen with the new job. But for now, bye. Hello. It has been about a week since I think I last talked to you. It is Thursday, the week before I start the new job, so not much has really happened. I got a few just like pieces of email of like, can you give us your email? Can you give us your address? And then there was one email I got from them saying, hey, we'll give you more logistical things about your first day, but can you let us know about you? Or can you tell us more about yourself? And it was just like, send some fun photos of yourself. What's your favorite snack? Etc, etc. I was feeling a little anxious because I wasn't getting any emails from them on any information about like the actual job and like, do I go into office? Like, do I have any paperwork I need to do beforehand? But I'm getting an email tomorrow on that because I had an automated email tell me, hey, we know your start date's coming up and we are going to give you all the information on Friday the 15th. And that's tomorrow for me. So that's that. My last week of this job has been pretty good. Stressful in that I hate telling people that I am leaving. Not because of any other reason than these people have gone through multiple changes, and I know that because I've kind of been there through multiple changes. A lot of organizational changes, people leaving, and I don't want these customers to be like, hey, why is everyone leaving? Is something going on? It's the only kind of reason why I was nervous about leaving or like telling the customer that I'm leaving. But yeah, that's all the work stuff. And I think I want to go shopping today. I want to get some makeup just so that I don't know, I've been not liking my makeup and I want to feel confident on my first day. I'm not gonna like beat my face or anything, but I just want some nice products that like sit on my face well and match my skin tone. And then I want to do a little clothes shopping because
the dress code from my previous or still current job is a lot more lax. Like, they're wearing hoodies, they're wearing jeans, like SF vibe basically. And while I don't think the dress code for this new job is strict at all, I still feel like because my coworkers will be a little bit older, they'll be dressing slightly more work-like and less SF casual-like. So I just want to get a couple tops that are not just plain t-shirts. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I want to do that today or this weekend. But yeah, I don't know. Whenever I do that, you'll see a haul, and I just want to do a quick little catch-up.
Hello, it is now Friday. I just finished some paperwork, so I have to do like the W-9, some taxes things, read a bunch of waivers and signed like policy stuff, lots of signatures and signing, but that's all done now. The only thing I'm worried about is that I have literally no information on, like, do I have to go into office? When do I get my laptop? All of that. So if I don't hear anything back, maybe by like lunchtime or 1, it's currently 9:45, I might email them. Otherwise, that's that for all the work stuff. The new work stuff. In terms of old work stuff, it's my last day and I have nothing to do. Literally all my meetings are done at 11. Okay. Anyways, yesterday I told you guys I'm going shopping, and I did. So let's do a quick little haul. I got this LA Girl Pro Concealer. Hello. But I plan on using this as contour. I got a lip liner from Morphe. And this is in Honey. It's slightly lighter than what I would want, but it'll do. And then I got this Anastasia Iced Out Highlighter. And it looks pretty clear, but honestly, it turns quite like gold. And warm toned once it's on my skin. So I got all of those at Ulta. Then I went shopping at Target. I honestly just need some summer work clothes because working in SF, I'm used to cold. So I got this kind of just plain tank kind of, but it's like a really thick tank for when it's really hot. And then I got this vest. Oh, I also got a belt to accessorize and then some earrings. But yeah, that's that. I'll update you guys if I finally get any information. Otherwise, yeah. My meetings are done. I am a free gal. I don't know when I'm getting cut off because I remember when one of my managers when she left, she got cut off by like 3. So like 2 to 3-ish, she was no longer allowed to log in to Teams and all of that. So I don't know when I'm getting kicked off. But I do need to get my messages out. So I might wait until at least 2 or maybe like 1. Hopefully I don't get kicked out by then. But in terms of all my meetings, I'm basically done and free. And I did get my email giving me information on my first day and first week. There's like a whole deck just for privacy reasons. I'm not going to share it. But I got information like history of the company. And then they have a welcome to the city that the headquarters is located in. They tell you the closest coffee shop, closest sandwich shop, etc. Then I have kind of information on my team and like an org chart, basically. Then I have my onboarding plan with key dates on here. And then there's an onboarding plan and like questions to ask my supervisor. And then questions to guide you through your meet and greets. Because I have lots of meet and greets. Then I basically have my onboarding plan for the whole week. I have all my meetings and stuff from Monday. I literally have 3 hours with my boss and then 2 meet and greets. And then I have on Tuesday another 3 meet and greets. Then literally Thursday, my whole day at work is just meet and greets. Friday also is just full day of meet and greets. So, okay, not full day. But like the only thing I have planned for that day are meet and greets. Yeah, I guess that's one thing I remember from that company is that lots of meet and greets, lots of talking, and I'm more on the shy side, but hopefully I can bring out my energy and my social battery. So it's gonna be a tiring week. Contact list, frequently asked questions, and then a map of the office. So I got all my information. I know what time I need to be, places, what's going on. So I'm glad for that. And I'm excited. Now I'm nervous
Now it feels a little real because all week everyone's like, oh, goodbye, bye bye. It just felt so fake. Now it feels real. And it's a little scary. I am a little stressed just because I don't know what to expect. But you know, new things, growing pains when you're getting out of your comfort zone. And it's only the first couple weeks, so we'll see how it goes. I guess the only thing I'm not good at is just I'm not a great, like, small talker. And that's what I'm afraid of, because all of these meet and greets are basically just small talk. But yeah, I think I have everything I need to be prepared for our new job. My new job. But that's all for now. I'll see you guys a little bit later. All right. I sent out all my like goodbye messages. I didn't even get on a call with anyone. And yet I'm so emotional. I don't even know why, cuz like honestly, I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but this last couple months with this company have been a little tumultuous, and not like the people, it's just like the work and like the customers. So I thought I'd be a lot happier leaving, which, you know, I'm happy for and excited for the new opportunity and kind of like growth that I get to have. But just having so much like supportive people, I'm just gonna miss working with everyone. And I didn't think I'd even get emotional because I was so ready to leave. But I know like the culture that this company has cultivated is like a very special one. And the relationships that I got to build with a lot of these people were just really strong. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and process everything. Probably do some fun things, might go climbing. Yeah, I'm just gonna, like I said, process and then do some fun things. Hello guys, it's Sunday. I start my job tomorrow. I have started a vlog today also, talking kind of about starting a new job, reinventing my life. That will come out in like a couple weeks just because of how things are scheduled and set up. But if you want to see that, subscribe, because I'll be taking you through how I prep for tomorrow and kind of how I felt about this upcoming week, this first week, as well as just trying to kind of reinvent myself with this new job, hopefully start some new habits. And yeah, anyways, I know I haven't talked about why I quit and how I got a job in this job market. So let's talk about that. I'm gonna grab a chair. My room's a mess because I was putting on a bunch of clothes, trying things on for figuring out what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. And you could see my donation. Okay, so first let's talk about why I left my job. So now that I'm no longer in that job, I won't give the kind of company still, but I'll talk about what I did a little bit more in depth. I was an implementation analyst, which basically, if you know anything about SaaS or software as a service, basically it's just what it sounds like, software as a service. So what counts as a soft? Maybe Adobe is technically a SaaS, like Adobe Photoshop, all of that. Salesforce, Adobe Learning. So anything where you adopt a software, even Canva can technically be software as a service. And basically my previous company kind of helped businesses with their finances. I don't want to say exactly what because it will be pretty obvious if I said, but it helps them with their finances and track certain things. So I did a lot of getting their data, making sure their data can get to us, and then our system will kind of calculate things for them and then spit it back out. It's basically something that was done manually a lot through Excel sheets and spreadsheets and stuff, and our company was hoping to, and does, kind of help automate that process instead of having to like create spreadsheets, do formulas and stuff. And my job there was basically to onboard that customer, get their data, put it in, help them validate, help them learn about all of our other features. There's like forecasting, there's a way to track progress, and a bunch of other things. We even have AI powered analytics like reporting and visualizations. So there was a lot of other things that they could do, not just this kind of calculation. So as I said, my role was to help them onboard onto that and then also teach them how to use all the other things and set up all the other things. And with that, that was a very customer-facing job and I hated it. But I always knew that this role was not something I'd want to be in like forever. I knew that it was a decent, I'd say, first job out of college in a bad market. So I'm glad that I got it, and I love the people that I've worked with. And honestly, like, if there were another way for me to stay there and move to a different like position, I probably would have, but that wasn't possible, and I was having some pretty bad days because of it. I feel like, I guess, just the feelings of work would never leave me outside of work. I couldn't relax after work, and work was always just like so stressful, so anxiety inducing. And also people started quitting, so workload was starting to get a little unmanageable. So recap, because I said a lot. One, I knew this role was never going to be a long-term role for me. And then to add on, what also plays into that is I don't think I could work customer facing in that kind of corporate environment. I mean, of course, you're always working with other teams, or you might be working with maybe like third party, and I can do that fine, but it felt like customer service, but in a corporate setting. And imagine how people treat like Starbucks workers or like McDonald's workers when they're mad. Imagine it in a corporate setting. Like, it's way worse. 2, workload was starting to get way too unmanageable. Number 3, there was no progression that I wanted from this job. So if I moved up this ladder, kind of similar to point 1, is that there's just no path that I want to take. Because after this implementation analyst role, you can be a manager of implementation or a customer success manager. And both of them are still like super customer facing, but with a lot more responsibility, and you're dealing with them when they're mad. So I knew that there's no progression for me here that suited what I wanted in my career. So that's basically kind of like why I left. It was just starting to affect my mental health outside of work even. It was starting to affect my relationships. I was not a person that I liked. Anyways, in terms of the job market now, a lot of people are saying that the job market's really bad right now, and I would say I don't really know. I wasn't looking as much as I was previously. I'm gonna pull up my statistics, my stats real quick. So when I was first applying for this first job, the one that I have or just left recently as an implementation analyst, I started looking in July of 2023, and then kept having to look until April 2024. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It took 9 months to find this job. And then this second time, I started again in April. Some months weren't as serious, but again, I started in April of 2025, but finally got one in July of 2025. April, May, June, July. So it took about 3 months. And in those 3 months, I applied to 36 jobs. The one that I did end up accepting an offer for, I've actually interned with them previously, so I had connections and kind of getting my resume through the door. I spoke with someone I knew from kind of talent acquisition, and I feel like because of, you know, having that connection, I was able to get this job. And I've seen a lot of people kind of on TikTok and on YouTube saying the job market's terrible. Like, you really do have to network, know people. I think I really did just get lucky, and that I had interned with this. This is a role that I actually really enjoyed, and I'm excited for the work. I am nervous to start, but I'm excited for what's to come. Yeah, that's basically why I quit my job. A little bit about how I got the new job. There was one point where I literally was thinking about quitting with nothing lined up, but I'm glad it all worked out, and I'm lucky that, you know, I was able to be in the position of getting to look for a job while having a job. I know a lot of people were getting laid off, fired, restructures, and there were some of that also, but I was lucky in that I wasn't affected by them ever. But I do want to say, like, I realize that I'm really lucky to have been in the position that I've been in. And for those of you that are struggling in the job market, I know it's rough, and I've been there kind of twice now. I know it's rough, and you're not alone, and it really is just, unfortunately, gonna have to take time. But the right job is out there for you, and it's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, that's basically the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful in one way or another. See you guys in the next one. Bye!